Hi, this is Michael Grant from Applied CAX and Sherpa Design. This is a support video I created for a specific NXCAM solution, and we're sharing it now so other people can hopefully make use of our resources. We hope you find it useful too.
That's what I normally do. Okay, so new model inches. Then we're going to do file import. And the second one down from that import is parasolid. And then if it takes you to that directory, you want to import the cavity, mold cavity. Did it not find that directory again? Okay. And then we can just do a save, and it'll ask you the name. I just call it like mold cavity, and then underscore your initials. And then we're gonna do I'll close the other one. We already saved it though. Oh well, we'll do a new one. So I'm gonna close that one. So I guess close. You guys can save that other one and close it. We'll do a new. We might come back. We might come back to it. And then we're gonna do new from here, and manufacturing. And I was just gonna look at what the die mold. Let's try the die mold express. Probably. Then we're gonna hit OK. Let me see what that does for us. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I like that. Alright, so you should end up looking like this. And then we're going to move it, so we're going to go to the Assembly Navigator. And right click the part. And move. And then go into the manipulator there next to specify orientation. Oh, sorry, click move mold handles only first. If you went in, just hit back or OK. Then you're going to pick this point manipulator here. And now we're in that dialog where we can pick between 2 points or point on face. I showed the between 2 points where you can pick a midpoint and a midpoint, just to show another way of getting to the middle. Then after you do that and you hit OK, you'll have the thesis there at the bottom.
How'd you get to between 2 points?
I hit this here, move handles only is on, and then I hit this point constructor. And there's a drop down for type. You can go to right below point on face, there's between 2 points. And then you want to pick midpoints of they'll highlight as you get close to them. And then when you hit OK, you'll have one on our work coordinates at the bottom, the WCS. And then we're going to uncheck move handles so we can start moving this around. So now if you start to drag this, our whole part's going to start moving. So we can move it to 0. So X0, Y0, Z0. And then we'll actually flip it too by once you get there. You just go to 0. Everybody got it to that? And then you can double click the ZC cone and that'll flip your part. Because you can see if you look at your view, our view Z is pointing up, it was opposite. So now by doing that, we're looking at when we hit the top view, we're looking at the top of the part. And if you want to rotate it or anything, you can do that too. You guys want it sideways or do you care? Is it like this okay? Or do you want to rotate at 90?
Maybe 9.
Okay. So you click on the sphere between the two, the X and Y, and you can enter a value. So if you enter 90 and hit enter, it'll move it
Michael, how do I get back to that?
to you exited the move command.
Yes.
Okay. You hit OK. So you just right click your part again and hit move, and it remembers. Yeah, mine did. Did it come in at the bottom of the part again? It should. If not, you have to move it there. Now you guys put it at the bottom or the top, your Z? I thought you said the bottom, right? Okay. Let me grab some Advil here.
I'll type in 90
Yeah.
on Z.
Between the little arc. So if you go to the top view, the little connective arc right there, the little dot right there in the middle, click on that and then type 90.
You guys can put your names on here before you even fill it out, so I can give it back to her so she can fill out the certificates, and then I'll give them back to you to actually fill out. We just need your name on there first. Sorry. She gave you one too, I guess I'm gonna write myself. So for now, just name.
Yeah, something turned on at the same time. No, I'm moving it. But it still doesn't show everything.
Alright, so you guys have those, I can go.
How you move it? You just click on like this. You type in 90.
Yours okay? Okay. You guys okay now? What Nickon sent me. I should have a pocket knife.
The one thing that was jacking me out was that I wasn't hitting tab.
Oh.
And it was just moving that one.
Oh, yeah.
So like when you go to...
Yeah, you hit tab and then it
I
just goes.
get messed up with that all the time.
Whoa, they sent me paper. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't get one of the one size boxes.
This was what was in this little coolant nut was the only thing in the box. That's awesome. Okay.
Good.
Alright, so now we can wavelength it. So at the bottom toolbar you have, oh man, I'm recording. Oh well. Wavelength. Pick the body. And hit OK. And now we can hide the part, so just hit the check mark in your assembly navigator. And so now we're looking at the wavelength. So we'll go to our manufacturing tab, and we don't need to set the, and then geometry view, or manufacturing, or sorry, operation navigator, geometry view. Well, yeah, I guess they call it operation navigator. I should call it what they call it, I guess. We don't have to set our MCS because we've moved the part to the MCS. That's
So
one way
here's
of doing
something
it.
that maybe manufacturing does a little differently. I go to manufacturing and there is
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, there's one called machining feature navigator. That's, you should be. Did you ever hit new? What? How is that possible?
Because I went to this other process.
No, you're in the middle of the
You
fan
need to wait
again.
like
If you
that.
see things grayed out, I don't know what you're
Link,
hitting. No?
main one of this. With the
So right click in this.
the main auto with the manufacturing.
Because the last thing I did was link and that worked fine.
Is that what that is?
I'm trying to hit
With the CAD? Yeah.
the model.
That's what you told me.
Well, that's what I thought, but
And then go back to manufacturing.
I just did it in the manufacturing. I did the wavelength stuff.
I don't know what that was about.
So Michael, the wavelength. Can you explain what that's for?
Yeah. So if we replace this, so if when we're manufacturing and we're manufacturing the wavelength part, it's like we're manufacturing the part in this file, not an assembly file.
Oh, it's the child.
Yep, so it allows us to replace that assembly file and not break everything in manufacturing. Because we're going to point our workpiece to the wavelength. We're going to point our operations to the wavelength. So the wavelength, when it creates that wavelength, it's if I go to my part navigator, that's in my part navigator. So it's part of this assembly part, or if you want to call it, this is essentially a part that we're in, even though it is an assembly, it's a part. So this is a feature in the part. So we're applying all of our manufacturing to this item. That way we can go up here and replace this other one and not break everything. We'll break this, but we won't break everything else.
So if you're in manufacturing and you went to synchronous, right, and you started doing stuff, you're not changing the CAD.
Right. That's the other thing, is you're changing this, but it's still looking at the CAD. So let's say you changed, you deleted these ears, you changed some stuff on this, but the CAD file got bigger. You're going to see that, but you're still going to see your deletes.
So if you don't wavelength it, right, so everything is still going to work, but any changes you're making them to the CAD.
Yeah, you would break. Yeah.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you replace your CAD, you've broken everything in manufacturing, and you'd have to go and individually pick and reselect faces in everything in manufacturing.
And that's actually really good then, because when you do a mold design, when you program it, right, so once you do the wavelength, you don't care what happens to that, right?
Yeah.
So if the guys in the shop have to cap holes and do whatever.
Yes,
they
exactly.
do, you don't care. They're not touching your model.
And it goes that you would see more of if you were doing design and manufacturing in NX. This allows us. We're not using it right now because they're not designing the same part at the same time. But if someone else was going to be designing this, I can even go in and say, fix at current timestamp. So if they continue adding features at the bottom of this part, I won't see those until they say, okay, I'm ready for you to look at those. I could come and unlock this, and it would add all those new items. You got a lot of control with it. And then another benefit is if, like when you guys, this didn't load properly, if this file was lost, you'd still have it in this, because you have your wavelength. If your wavelength becomes broken because someone deleted this part file from your folder, you'd still have the part file essentially inside of this. As long as they don't delete this setup one file, and if someone accidentally deleted this cavity file, you'd still have your part there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another level, but it's worth it.
That makes sense.
The one thing, if you do multi-part, which you'll have multi-cavity, but I don't know if you use the multi-part programming for that. But if you use the multi-part programming, the only thing that kind of upsets me is they built that to not use wavelengths, and I just discovered that. I'm like, really? For all these years you've been telling us to use wavelengths, and now you added this new feature that currently doesn't use wavelengths. Thanks. But you guys won't have to worry about that yet. But yeah, I would say you'd want to use the wavelengths and this assembly structure. Unless you just want to do, a really quick and dirty program to get it out. Not as dirty, but it just doesn't have the same kind of capability. You can open a part and just go to manufacturing and never create an assembly, never create a wavelength. You lose some of the benefits of being able to replace a part. And,
Like if you have like a sample 2D part.
Yeah.
You don't need
So I'll show you. Like if I just go, let's say I just open. I'll do it one more time. If I was to do that import again, and I hit cancel on that, I do import. Shoot, I should pause this. And specify part. Pick. Sorry. Yeah, in your Operation Navigator geometry view, and it might be collapsed. You might just see MCS, but hit the little plus, and then double click that workpiece. Specify part, and then specify blank. We'll do just bounding block again. Did you want any material above it or not? Anything to face off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so go back into your specify blank and put on the ZM plus 15 thou or something. Oh, and this one, I see this template's also set the default for the material HSM P20 pre-hardened. So it's setting us up for our speeds and feeds. And under I'm sure under the method it's using, it's got both. I'm going to delete the regular ones, I don't want to see those. So I just have, that one too. I got rid of the 3 mill rough, mill semi-finish, and mill finish, and just left in these mold ones because they've got they work with the speed and feed. So in your method view, let me delete. Yeah, get rid of the top 4. We don't need to see more than we need to. I don't know why they would have put all of them in the template. Whoops. And then back to geometry view. So we picked our part and our blank, and now we can add some tools to start milling. I'm thinking this thing's small. We probably don't need a 3-inch face mill, but we could preview it to see. So insert tool into your pocket 1. Retrieve tool from library, and under milling you have face mill, or you could do a regular end mill. You guys use a regular end mill, right? So let's just do end mill, non-indexable, and 1 inch. And pick one of those. While it's it didn't open. Okay, so hit cancel after you see the next box again, and go into that and set that tool from if you edit the tool, it's got material HSS coded. Let's change that to like end mill tie-in coded, the HSM end mill tie-in. Should we look at our radius sizes? You want to do the colors or the local radius? Colors or local? I kind of like the local, as long as you don't make it accidentally stick. So under analysis you can do local radius and just start picking some of them. Wireframe view if you want to actually see them. So I have a 197 radius at the bottom, 645 in the corner. You want me to go back
Are you guys seeing this tool? Do you know how to do it? Here, if I hit cancel. So I went to analysis.
Yeah, I just need to switch to wireframe.
Yeah, local radius. And while it's, you can leave it open and just pick right click in your background, hold down right click and go to the left to get wireframe. So now as you pick on items, it'll add the text that you can read. So 638, 197, 3. You're not? This is the boxes I have turned on. Nothing but the radius and minimum radius. Oh, it looks like you have to have minimum radius turned on. Interesting. I don't get it. Yeah, just minimum. I'm just looking at the different settings. So weird. Alright, so we have 393, 6, so our smallest, it looks like, oh no, the smallest would be over here. 30, you know, we'll have to definitely come back into that corner. That's like a 39 thou. But in the normal part, the smallest is 394 thou, I think. Let's see. Oh no, 126, the bottom. Okay. I don't know, you can have them stay if you want them to. And I guess, what was it? How did we get rid of them though? Now I'm trying to remember.
You gotta go to your filter
And select them to, okay. The way I don't see the button to make them stick now. Oh, it's down on the bottom. If you hit information window, they'll end up staying there. But if you don't hit it, I think, oh no, they do stay. So you have to highlight them, but what I did, what did we pick? Analysis. Oh, there's a selection filter for analysis. No, yeah, you can pick. Huh. What? Oh yeah, you have to do a big enough window to get around all of them. So you can delete them. I'll leave them there for now, I guess, until I've added all my tools. So, would you route this out with a bowl mill so that you already have a radius, or you want to do a? Well, we have to do the top. We got the flat. Then what do you want to add for the inside? You want to do a ball, a bowl, or start with a flat? Okay, what's like a half inch or?
Yeah. I'd use a half because
On this one's small. Yeah. So insert tool.
Pocket 2.
Yep. Retrieve tool from library. And end mill non-indexable. You can filter it so you just see the half inch by entering your half inch. I'll pick the carbide at the bottom, I guess. Although there are shorter ones. Oh, they're all pretty long. We'll shorten it. That is really long. There is a 1-inch one. Maybe that it's like the third one down. But if you already picked one, don't worry about it. But the 61, the one that ends with 61, that seems pretty reasonable. Okay, and then the next thing we would need is either a bowl end mill or a ball end mill.
This is all new to me. So.
Yeah.
You can't
So,
answer me a question.
I mean, there is a little bit of a flat on the bottom. But since I usually do hard metals, I use a lot of bowls. But what do you want to use next as a ball mill? Okay, what size? Like a 3/8. Okay. And then a 1/4 or an 1/8 next.
3/16.
Okay. Right in the middle.
Yeah, that's what we do. Just
Yeah.
half, half, and half.
That's good. Whoops. And then, what would you do from there? 90, 30 seconds? Yeah. I'm getting your system. If you don't enter it. Oh, it didn't find a 3:30 seconds. Did it? Nope. So just don't filter it and find one close and we can edit it. So I'm going to sort by diameter. They have an 090 or a 095. We could edit either one of those. Or leave it as is. I guess it doesn't have to be exact. Wow, that thing is short though. We'll definitely have to extend it. Or have a smaller holder. And we can leave it for now. Yeah, we can do the, you know, as we make the operations, we can report shortest tool and use that before we edit. So let's leave it for now. So that'd probably be good, right? Oh, that's probably small enough. It'll leave a little bit in that one corner, but I guess we could add one for that or call it good, either way. Okay. So I'm guessing that we would just do a cavity mill and get the face and the pocket as much as possible with the 1 inch. Is how you guys would do it. So insert, operation, cavity mill.
First one.
Yeah, and workpiece, and when you want to leave rough stock, which is 20, or semi-finish, which is probably 10, 20. Okay, so mold rough, and just you can leave the name if you want and hit OK. And if did we ever edit that tool? So if we go into feeds and speeds and set data, it should work. Yep. So that way we'll get our reason I did that first, because it's going to give us our step down, step over, and speeds. I went into feeds and speeds and then hit the lightning bolt. Yep. The shocker. And then if you just generate, I mean, we'll look at the pattern, but it's going to cut. It didn't cut the top though, so we'll fix that. Oh, because of the step. What's that?
Yeah, it was only 15,000.
Oh, yeah. So should we put more on the top so we can see it? Okay, so put like 50 or do 50 thou on the top. Okay, so go to geometry view, edit your workpiece. Yeah, it knows what it's doing. That's what I. So change the ZM plus to 50 thou. It's smart. It says, well, you asked me to leave 20 and there's only 15. Yeah, that's the top now.
Michael,
Yeah.
I'm having trouble. Let's see which view to use.
Oh, which view? It doesn't matter where you insert them. I inserted that one in the tool, and because it's our first operation, if you go to the program order view, it's our first operation.
So you
As
only
long.
do what Siemens
Thank you.
view?
I normally do. Yeah. I normally insert it there. Unless I forgot the name of my geometry, and I have, in this case, we only have one workpiece, so I'm not gonna. I know where to put it. But if I get a lot of mill area groups, a lot of boundary groups, then I might go pick the group. But you just need to and even if you don't know all of them to set, set one of them, close it, and go look at your views and see if that operation is where you want it. See if it's in the order, and then go back into it and edit. If you forget, what geometry to use, go look at your geometry and make sure you're under the right one. If you forget which program or which order it should be in, just go look.
But even if you didn't insert it into anything, if you just went up to the top and said create, I mean, the important part is just to set these 4 right.
I see.
And if you don't, you can go through your views and look at them and see if they're set right. What you're doing when you pick on an item is you're setting one of them. So if I went to the tool view and pick a tool, it's going to set this one. If I go to the geometry view and pick my workpiece, it's going to set this one. But after you've done one, it's going to remember the program folder, it's going to remember the workpiece, and it's actually going to remember the method.
I see. So if you go to finish, you need to change that.
Yes, that would be, yep, exactly. So by setting the tool, most everything else should be set except for method.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep. That's a good question, though. Alright, so, and our pattern looks good. I mean, it looks, could compare it to the follow part, I guess. I mean, if I look at, if I kind of move over my program order view so that I can see the time, and then if I open it back up and change the pattern, I can see how that affects, so they're really close to the same. I mean, between follow periphery, and if your material was hardened, then you'd need to do trochoidal, but follow part seemed good. Let's see what zigzag does. Yeah, they're all within seconds. It doesn't, that one doesn't look bad though. Yeah, maybe I'll just do follow part. Does that look pretty good like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then so now we're going to do basically start cutting the material that's left. So the next one we have is a 1/2 inch. Now, and then in the end you go back and finish the top face when you're done as the last thing, or when do you go back and machine this face here?
Actually, right after the drop.
Oh, okay.
Because
So,
our stock normally 100,000 over.
yeah.
So we leave it like 50 over, and after that.
And is it the only face you cut in the next operation? Okay. So then we'd want to insert an operation into that tool again. And we can pick the floor and wall, which is on this layout's a little different because we picked the die mold template, but so it's the bottom and the middle. Sorry if I confused you guys with that. And then make sure you pick finish. And if you want, you can call it face.
We can use the same tool.
Yeah, we are, yep. And pick the face. I'm going to generate to see what I'm getting so far. Yeah, that looks good. It's just
And that's the cut area floor?
Yeah, cut area floor and pick that top face. Weird. And right now it's on zig. You can do zigzag if you want, but it's on zig. Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'd go inside and do some start rest milling.
Yes.
Okay. So the next size tool down, we'll go to insert operation on pocket, the tool in pocket 2. And did they put the rest mill in here? Uh-oh. Why would they not do that? Oh well, that's good. I'll show you. It doesn't matter if you don't have the rest mill. You can make any operation rest mill. So just pick the cavity again and call it rest mill.
If you go back to
Yeah,
your tool path of your 1 inch.
Yeah, the
face finish.
Yep.
Look at mine.
Oh, it's because you did the speeds and feed thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. So you could just set the step over back to like 75% or something.
And where?
Not in there. Hit OK. Or right there. It's in that area. It's set to some kind of inches on step over. See it under the pattern. You have pattern is zig. Step over constant.
Like 1/4 inch.
Yeah, and so you
Okay.
can switch it back to either percentage or just set it to 3/4 of an inch. either way. Yeah,
That's fun.
it did that on mine too.
Because yeah, I know, so it did that when I did my speeds and feeds. I go, see if I can figure it out, and I couldn't.
They must not have, yeah, I get, based on the cutter, they don't know that we're facing, or based on the...
Well, yeah, the depth is what cracks me up.
Yeah.
It's
True.
not taking nothing off.
So now we're going to insert a cavity mill into the next tool, and call it rest mill, and that would be a semi-finish.
Yeah, rest rough.
Okay, rest rough, I'll call it rest rough.
And that's a semi-finish.
Yeah. And the way that you turn, I guess we can do our speed and feed again. Oh, why does it say this time? Oh, based on what? Oh, based on the, oh, we never edited that tool. So if you edit that tool, go to where the description is and it says HSS coded. We can change it to the tie-in one, HSMN mill. Double click the tool above the, I hit OK on the operation to close it momentarily, and then I'm double clicking the tool in Pocket 2.
Can you do that from within the program?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, let me show you that.
If you open up the tool, then
So
you can,
so if you have the operation open, there's a tool tab here. I don't know why I tend not to do that, but right here is edit. So that'll open the tool, and then you can change this material here. We've been changing it to HSM end mill tie-in coded, and that should set our speed and feed. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then this one isn't rest yet, so if we were to generate it, it's going to cut everywhere. And so the way we turn on the rest,
I haven't get that far.
okay, what I just hit generate to get the toolpath.
So I added for cavity mill.
Uh-huh.
When I click OK, say if the name contains legal character.
Oh, you have to have a underscore. You can't have any spaces. An underscore or a dash. And so did you probably didn't get the tool yet then? Do you want me to show you that again, how to edit the tool?
Yeah.
Okay. So under, if the dialog's open, you can edit your tool right from inside the operation. Expand this, hit edit, and then change the material under description to HSM end mill. Tie-in, it's TMCO 22 down in the list there. And then that'll allow you to set the speed and feed.
Can you do that one more time?
Yeah, so I'm in the operation in here, and there's this tool tab, and then a little wrench with the yeah, hit that, edit display, and then right here where this material is, I hit the wrench, and then on here I picked the one that says HSM end mill tie-in coded, and then hit OK, and then OK again. That'll take you back into your operation. So now we're back here, and if you go into speeds and feeds and hit the set machining data, it'll set your yep. And then if you generate, you'll get, you know, it cutting everywhere, because we haven't told it to look at the material yet. So we're going to go into cutting parameters, containment, and you have in process workpiece under blank there, and this is a big enough cutter, you could say level based, and then just hit OK and generate, and so then it goes and just machines. So this one wasn't, we bring it, this particular template, and if you want I can save mine and you can open it so you're where we're at right now. You want to do that, Joe, or you want?
Sure.
Okay, I hit save here. Okay, I just hit save on mine, so it's mold cavity MG setup 1. So this Die Mold Express environment that we're in, I just want to point out under the Rest Rough, under the cutting parameters and containment, this one, yeah, this one doesn't have it based on tools. Okay, I was going to show you where you can filter the toolpath based on tool size. Nope, not on this one. Okay, so I cancel. I didn't change anything. Alright, so we're going to go to the next tool, the 3/8. If you want, let's do a copy and paste actually. So copy your Rest Rough. So right click on it, that's under your tool 61, under pocket 2, hit copy and paste inside of the ball end, ball 3/8 and pocket 3, paste inside. And then you can change the name by just, while it's selected, hit F2 and you can change the name to, what would you call this one, Rest Finish or Rest Rough 2? Yeah, Rest Rough. We used Rest Rough, but we're gonna put a 2 on the end of it or something, or so, you know, Rest Rough 2. But it's also, are you wanting to still semi-finish with this one? Probably still. Would it still be okay? So we're fine there. We changed the tool. We changed the name. If you were to open it, it's using a semi-finish. It would have the wrong step over and step down, so we need to edit this tool to make it a HSM tool. So if you go to your material again, and this is a ball, so you'd pick, you could pick the ball mill tie-in coated or ball. There's a couple there. I'll pick the ball mill tie-in coated. And so now if we go in the feeds and speeds, it changed everything. Wow, it's going to go fast with this one. 234 inches per minute. What material? This is P20, yeah. So that changed. Did you do that okay? Yeah. Okay. That changed our step down and step over. It is trying to. What do I have for this?
Step down and step over.
I have 31 thou for step down and 31 thou for step over.
I still have the same step over.
Okay, so
Yeah,
go
you
into
can-
feeds and speeds.
Did you cut and drag that one over? Or
Yeah.
copy
So
and paste?
yep. So did you do that also or not? Did I go too fast? Did you copy and paste into the new tool? Okay. So then I edited the tool so it didn't keep it. Nice. I hit cancel. I edited the tool so that it has HSM ball mill as the material. So in the ball mill 3/8 it has that, and that allows me to go into this operation, hit feeds and speeds, and hit the lightning bolt, and it sets it.
Where's that part at again?
What did you open mine? Did it open right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay. I can tell you where it's at. What file directory are you in?
Class part.
Under what? Under training classes?
Yeah, NX80 library.
Oh, okay. Class parts. Then 21 sync tech. And then part files. And mold sample. Yeah, there it is now. No, it's not there. Where did I save it? Hang on. That's interesting. Oh, that's stuff. Where did it go? Okay, well I'll always save it in there. So mold sample. Yeah, because this is mold cavity. Okay, weird. It went somewhere else. Okay, now it should be there. So where did my part file go? You might not have that in there, so let me see. No, you don't. Okay, so let me save this.
Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah.
Under training classes, class part.
Training classes, and you've got the NX85. You're under that one in class parts.
Yeah,
So-
Rev E.
Yep, class part, and then 21 sync tech, part files, and then mold sample, and it's the one called mold cavity MG setup 1.
Got it.
Alright. I don't know.
Did you do any customization on that one? Or was it pretty much a drag and drop?
Drag and drop and the set feeds and speeds is all I did so far. But the face, did we not finish on the face? Why is the ball mill trying to go? I guess we can, that's fine. I can show you how to limit that. For some reason it's going on the outside. Like it sees a little bit of material out there. But I can help you.
Mine didn't do it.
It didn't?
Oh.
What do you have for step down and step over? 31 or bigger.
On is that the maximum distance?
Yeah,
On
max.
the step over, it's 14, and depth per cut is 14.
Oh wow, here's this 14 and you hit set machining data? Huh.
I have 31.
Yeah, mine's 31. You might
I
have
did
a,
some.
you might have a slightly different did you pick ball mill instead of
I did.
oh weird.
Excellent.
Well, as long as it's set, and we're just trying to show that
Now,
example.
I also may have picked a different coating or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something slightly different, but you're at least getting a speed and feed. If yours is going outside, you can pick the outer boundary. If it's doing like mine, you could say specify trim boundary. Actually, you could just pick face, say ignore holes. So if you pick the top face, is yours also going on the outside?
Yep.
Okay, so pick the top face, and then just hit trim outside, and then hit OK. And it's still doing it. So I guess that it's because it's it's on. So sorry, pick the cavity instead. So go to reselect all on that boundary,
Okay.
and then append, and pick the loop around the cavity, and then you're gonna say still trim outside. So there is a chaining. You can pick the end of one and the end of the very end, and it should go all the way around. Want me to do that again? The chaining?
Yeah.
Okay, so, so the way chaining works is you pick the end of an edge, and then you go to the last one, because you're saying I'm going in this direction by picking that end. And if I go the last one in the same direction, so the same end, it knows I want to go all the way around. And then we're going to still trim outside and say OK. And OK again.
You have to click chaining.
No, you don't have to. You can pick them individually. You want me to do it again?
No.
There is a button right there on the second one down, or the.
Chain. Click on the right side.
Yeah, mine looks a little busier too.
Yeah, that made it jumps around, but that's because it's trying to skip most areas. So we could try a different pattern.
And that's.
Yeah, it looks like follow periphery is a better pattern on this one. I would probably use trochoidal, but I always use trochoidal. But it's also crazy looking. So maybe I won't on this one.
Yeah, the periphery actually looked a
Yeah, it looks good. Along with it, you know, I'd have to watch it to see the chip load. But okay, and then now if we want, we can copy that again and paste it inside the 3/16. And call it rest rough 3, I guess. And before you go into that, you know, you could edit that tool to change the coding again. Why don't they put more tools in the library with this already set? Or why not set all the tools to this so that people can more easily experiment with that? So ball mill, tie-in coded. And that allows us to go into that rest rough 3 and go into feeds and speeds and set machining data. It's going faster. The smaller tools end up going faster and faster. We're at 300 inches per minute now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Run it.
Yeah. I think this one's too short though.
You showed me how to use the feed sheet.
Yeah. I think this one, if I remember right, is way too short, so we'll have to extend it. Well, this one's really reaching in there. You would first need to, mine's thinking right now, double click your tool, and under description there's the little wrench near material. Oh, mine's back. So whether you edit the tool from inside the operation or by double clicking the tool in your tool view. So if you do it inside the operation, it's under this tool area. And there's where it's under description, it says material, probably says HSS. You'd hit the wrench and pick like ball mill, tie-in coded. And now it's at a step down, a step over of 14 thou. Even when you hit the lightning bolt, it doesn't work?
No, it's working.
Oh, okay. And if we want to see where we're at so far, we could, I mean, you could do it just by clicking on that operation, but because we're doing, creating things in order, I mean, we didn't have to go to our program order view to define order. So we've been doing everything from the tool view, and it's just putting them in order, which is good. On the rest rough 3, I was going to right click and see what the shortest tool is. Report shortest tool. It's saying 831. I can't remember what length we are. Whoops. Tool. I think it's, yeah, not long enough, so 840. Yeah, so it wasn't long enough. What's this one? I think I already did this one. 870. No, I didn't. Okay, so what I was going to show is we can click that 3D IPW color analysis and kind of see where we're at. Oh, I think she brought those back in for you guys at some point before you leave to fill out. So we've got yellow. That looks nice. Wow. Yay. It looks really good, really even. And we've got our, our semi-finish must be 5 thou. So we've got it everywhere but in there. I don't think we picked our smallest tool. Which I know is too short, because check this out. There's our tool length there, look at that. It's a nub.
Nice. Yeah, that's what got me. I kept creating it because I thought it was the 1 inch.
Yeah, it's just, you're gonna mill with a holder. So we could copy our rest rough, paste it inside that tool. Are you seeing a pattern? Copy paste, copy paste. Edit the material on that tool. And then we're going to set the speed and feed. What RPMs do you guys have on your machines? What do you get up to?
25.
Nice.
Yeah, not cheap replacing for spin.
No, it's not. The highest I've had is 20.
It's more like 25, so 25 grand, 30, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I had.
1,000 per RPM.
Yeah, the US Digital bought a 40,000 RPM one after I left, and I was like, oh. But they run it super slow. Super slow. I went in there, I'm watching it, I'm like, it's a Mitsubishi seller, or the Mitsubishi reseller sells it. It's the Roku, especially for doing your electrodes. Well, what it is it has the high-speed machining mode has one that goes to like 5/10 or 2/10 accuracy, so it's really slowing it down to hit the, it might even be more. It might be 50 microns or something, but so it's slowed down so that it could hit that. And I'm like, do you need that? Like, no, we don't need that accuracy. But you're complaining about the speed. They're like, yeah, it runs like as slow as my Haas or slower, and I'm just like, oh. Okay, so we pasted that in there, set the, we just generate it. I mean, we're just copying and pasting, set machining data, and generating. We're not changing the pattern.
So what did you change on Rest Rough 3 to get it to do the floor?
It just knows where the material's at, and hits it anywhere that yours isn't hitting the floor. We'll look at it here. Okay.
I think what I was doing.
Oh, it doesn't.
I didn't see you hit the
So the first one hit the floor, and so we have our rest rough 1, or it's not, doesn't have a 1, probably did the floor.
Oh, okay.
And so we've just been copying and pasting that first one into the next tools down and regenerating. And we haven't had to reset anything other than hit set machining data, which has been changing our step over and step down.
So you said that is the IPW? Or no, that's a PMI that I don't have access to.
You will have access to reading it, but not creating it.
Yeah.
You can create nodes.
But I'll have it show thickness by color in here.
Yeah,
That'll be
definitely.
good.
Yeah, everything in manufacturing except for simulation you would have, which is with the machine, and you won't have. I don't think you bought beyond 3-axis yet, right? You're still 3, because you were going to do position 05, which you can do.
I think that's what
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah. Alright, so there's where that one went. Just looking at the different patterns. is your Z level.
Which tool we put on?
In pocket 4, the one that ends with 47. And we want to change it to finish.
Do you want a copy?
No, we're doing a new type, Z level. Our other one was a cavity mill. Want me to start it again so you can see? Okay. So the 3/16, right click, insert, operation, and the Z level is the fourth one over. And then the only thing you have to change is the method.
So Michael, would it be possible to get these test parts to practice on?
Yeah, definitely. I even have, let me hit OK on this. I have a whole custom environment if you want. I can copy. I don't know how much room you have, but what it is I guess you might not want that. Because do you have 8.5 installed also or not? Or just 9? Okay. I'm going to be putting together a version 9. I might have built it already. But and they're going to be coming out with one, and I usually hand it out. It's meant for us to demo, but the nice thing is, if I pull it up, it not only has the samples, so you don't have to install another NX, you just have this folder, and if you launch NX from there, it pulls it up so you have these tabs, pictures of the sample parts. They're numbered. So if I was to pull one up, I think it's on the second tab. So here's our mold one. So if I pull up that one.
So we can still open 8.5 files though, right?
Yeah, it just, this environment would try to open 8.5. And so it's set up to launch 8.5. But you could open these files, so I can, but then it's built so it has a custom help menu. And so if you go to this demo script, first button, it'll launch. I mean, I'm probably not supposed to hand these out, but I figure it's helpful. It walks you through why, how it was built. So that demo was a silver demo, MBG silver demo, number 21. So if I go to that window that just popped up, there's a tab for silver, 21, and I open the script. It basically walks you through, why the operations were used, some description. Yeah. Just a whole. Yeah, that's what I mean, I was using it for a while. I was like, this is so helpful for people. If I'm breaking a rule, sorry. Here you go. You can have this.
That's from Siemens?
Yeah. The guy's in Germany. The MBG group is a manufacturing business group out of Germany, and they're who, when I get CSE training, I work with, and they're amazing. They document so well. They've done so much to help move things along. They're awesome. So yeah, if you once the 9 version's coming out soon, or I can give you. I know. Yeah, right. I have it zipped. And so even if you don't have the 8.5 yet, you can go into it, and there's a folder inside of it called demo parts.
So the licensing on NX, is that version specific?
No, it is. If you have 9, you can do anything back. If you had 8.5, it's the license. It's into the license. It's version specific as far as going forward. But if you're running 9, you can go.
Oh, I see. So if I want to download 8.5,
it'll run. Yeah.
license should still run.
Yep. But if you had 8.5 and you hadn't upgraded your license yet, you couldn't run 9.
Okay.
I have the zipped version, so I'm going to give you that.
How big is the file?
Let me look here. So here, that's the latest one, 3.2. Let me just double check.
You want to run
So
8.5 or 9?
yeah, I'd say 9. It's really nice. So zipped, it's 805 megabytes. Do you have 7-zip though? It's a free download. You don't. I have an executable that you don't have to install that'll run 7-zip.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can.
Okay. Was that 7-zip type? What do you have? What's your if not, it's a really good program. It's a free download. Want me to just put it in the main file, okay? The main folder, just right on the drive.
Sure. 7-zip.
Yeah, 7. You have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, most IT groups have switched to it. Must be a USB 3 drive. Oh no, maybe not. It's still going pretty fast. Oh yeah, I bought a USB 3.
Well, because you guys are doing this, I'm going, I wonder if I should go out and pick one up. You know, I was thinking this last night. I'm sure I can get one of them to let me.
Wait, no, you know what? No, I mean, I can get you one.
You remember when those things used to be like gold?
They were.
Really expensive.
That wasn't that long ago either.
Yeah.
Because what we were doing, we were using them to transport video of sports and analyzing everything. He did. My buddy, he actually started a whole company where he's running a server and everything to where it's watch game film, something. Anyway, yeah, and then all of a sudden colleges start pulling up on it, and because at that level you can actually trade and swap other schools and everything. At the high school / below, I don't think it's legal to trade film. So it got all complicated and people were tattling on each other.
Yeah, there's some stuff there. And those water bottles are you guys just too. I'll put it on there for you.
Thank you.
That's way cool. Yeah. Here we are, right back. You rip it up and the zip locks on the other side.
Exactly.
I'll open stuff and I'll cut right through the zip thing. What are you doing?
Well, if you guys, I don't know what time you want to leave, but we can do the replace file at this stage, or do you want to at least add the Z level and then do a replace?
I can just do a replace.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think I got a pretty good understanding of how to do the tool pass.
I'm getting there.
I'm around. I'm not leaving, so you'll be able to get a hold of me.
Exactly, and I think the biggest thing is right now I want to figure out how to swap the files. I gotta see that.
I'm not leaving.
You know what's interesting in Asia? They're not allowed to have these.
Really?
They're
Wow.
so worried about like.
Oh, that's true.
Now and stuff that it's like you employees and.
Well, and they've started to set up computers that won't allow writing to them too. But.
Yeah, they keep threatening us is that we're not allowed. I go, okay, wait a minute. We bought a machine specifically so we could actually use thumb drives going back and forth and make it more, easier and one guy to the next. They just don't understand, security. And then what they said they're going to do is they're going to, when you plug in the thumb drive, it will encrypt it to your computer without even asking. Just boom, done. So if you go to try to put it on a network computer, it won't read it.
So you guys misspelled my name.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not 2 R's in it.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew you didn't.
I could fix. Yeah, I could do it.
I'm just gonna say.
I figured something would happen. You could. What about?
See how nice he is? He's like, well, we can fix it.
I like mine with 3 L's.
Yeah.
I would have said, when we had you write your name? That's what you wrote. No.
Your name.
I figured it would happen. Yeah, so this is a 2 gig, I think. Okay, so let's do the file replace. Make sure. Close my other stuff here. Turn memory. This is gonna be a long. Whoa, it's still okay. So, well, let me just. I've got mine already created. Let me just. I think all I have to do is generate this. So.
So I have an interesting story for you. You know, back when we did benchmarking and we were purchasing software,
Mhm.
we went from CamMix to Delcam. So we benchmarked like all the softwares, Mastercam, we were using graphics at the time, and Symmetron, basically all.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Symmetron. Yeah, I did the same thing for my business. I mean, not all of them, but.
It came down to graphics and power mill, and the only reason we went with power mill was the time.
Yeah.
We used to, you know, for like our files,
Oh, the processing time.
processing.
Yeah,
time
yeah.
was brutal. It was like 4 times, you know, the
NX was 4 times slower.
slower.
Yeah.
Just on the
Yeah.
that same part.
I've tested it when I had my, or even every place I've been, I've tested a bunch. I tested Simco, or not Simco, Symmetron. And then another one I tested was HSM. It's processing time. HSM works is awesome. It uses however many cores you have, but it's just too new. And then they can also do farm computing.
They've gotten better though.
Yeah. Hopefully it continues. So, okay, so I've got this trim boundary to keep it. I don't know if we have some stock out there. Or might have a little bit. I don't know. But let it oh, wrong way. So this Z-level process is fast. So there's the Z-level. So it is getting, that must have, it's getting that full of, must have a little bit of a draft to it. Alright, so now, I'll hit save. We do need to, is your file already converted? Where did you put it? Is it on a thumb drive? Do the one I have, or you have a different one?
No, I have a simplified one. It's
Okay.
just called 92. I've got the press all in there.
Alright. I think yours finished
I
copying.
just script out all the details I kind of sent to us.
Okay, there you go. On there. And you'll need to, do you have 7-zip or somebody there?
I'm sure I do.
Okay. Alright.
Nate, it's the good part.
So,
Can you record that?
yeah, I think I am. Yep, I'm recording. I'll just do it from this drive. And it's the,
Test 2.
okay. So I'm going to open that file. And it's,
Do you open that in the CAD? Or
yeah.
Or in the CAD you open it? Okay.
Cancel. Oh, I guess it is in manufacturing, but it doesn't. I'm just opening it.
Okay.
Then I can see it should locate the same. So I'll go over to what let me close this one. That's not the one we were working on. It's a different one. Okay. So here's the one we're on. I'm gonna. I normally do a hide on the linked body and show on the cavity. I mean the part. Right click the part. Replace component. And I have it open along with a lot of other stuff. Test 2. Hit OK. Oh, it's the other way. That's alright, we can flip it. So you can still move stuff. So I'm going to move it. And I'll do it like we were doing before. Move handles. I'll do between 2 points. And then I'm going to put it to 0. And then flip it. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. So flip it. And then rotate it. Okay. And I mean, if you didn't relocate it, it's still going to find where it was at. It would still work. It's just, might as well put it in the right orientation. So now, whoops, not hide it yet. Now I'm going to double click my link body and pick this new part and say, won't necessarily need this timestamp on. Say OK. So there, now my link body reflects. It's hidden, but it reflects this new part. I'm not show. Alright. Okay. So the link body is showing. I'm going to go back to manufacturing, and the workpiece is updated. So I'm going to just the only thing that would be broken is maybe the trim boundary, but we'll just generate.
Oh, so by doing the replace component, it automatically set it as the workpiece?
Because the workpiece is pointing to the link body. So here's, like I said, the trim boundary I use. So I can just hit yes and continue. Oh, I must have hit no. Yes. So we'll go fix those. Yes. So I gotta fix the first one. So hang on. Oh no, the face. No, what it was is the face doesn't have the floor, so I'd have to repick the floor on that. So hang on a second. Let me hit stop. Okay, so the cavity's fine, and that's what, like I said, cavity mill is very robust for replacement. But anything where you're having to pick geometry, you know, I'd have to at least repick my floor. And for this case, because it's a standing core rather than a, I'm going to turn off the preview. I hate that. Go down to the bottom. They really shouldn't make that preview a default. Okay. Alright, so I've got, we'll just generate it and see what it looks like. So normally you'd want to keep it like I mean, this is kind of a different style, but we're going from definitely a cavity to kind of a combo cavity core. There's going to be less fixing the more similar, but because we had a flat face that was above, the part was below it, so I'm interested to see what this one does. And why is it taking so long? While you're parallel generating, I could create other toolpaths. You're not going to see, other than continuing, you're not going to see a lot of improvements on speed when it's rest machining, because it has to respect the order of operation. If these weren't rest, it could process them all at the same time. But because rest 2 needs to be processed before rest 3 can go, it knows that. So even though it's working on them in the background, it knows that it has to respect order. So it's not going to use quite as much power because it's limited to how many it can do at a time. But it is at least using multiple cores while it's doing it. And I recommend turning off hyperthreading if you're doing, you know, CAD, because all it does is takes my 4 cores and splits them into 8 smaller cores. And so it's better to have 4 more powerful cores, because a lot of times you're not using multiple cores, so the more power you can have for one is better. Bigger part. So what other areas do you guys have any questions on as far as, I mean, there's the templates section, you can go through that. I do have some videos that I can send you guys. I mean, if you have any questions, send me an email and I might have a video for it, because if I go in to our YouTube here,